and welcome back. I'm your host, Paul Gregory, for this particular show called Positively Paul. We have actually been on a hiatus for the past 3 months, and actually now past 3 months for sure. And we decided to take a break from our hiatus and come and talk to you a little bit in the summer, in the early part of the summer, to see how things were going. This show is a positive kind of show. We're not negative, we're not pessimistic, we're not any of that kind of stuff. And we come to you live on Sundays when we do make a live show at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 3 Central, 2 Mountain, and 1 Pacific time. And for those of you in Hawaii, I guess it's whenever you come in from surfing. So, it is what it is. At any rate, we're happy to be part of the internet and part of the process of bringing this podcast/webcast to you. And we try to talk about things that are basically good for you, things that kind of, update you and spur on your curiosity and make things work well for you. I want to say hello to all of our friends who are veterans, and I've said this in the past, that you gotta say hello to a veteran when you see them. When you pass them on the street, if you see somebody with a license plate, for example, on their truck or their car or whatever, and you notice that's a veteran's plate, go up and say thanks to them, because that really makes a difference. It says that you're thinking about them. It says that you honor them and you honor the work that they're doing for all of us here in this country, and for all of the great things all the sacrifices they make as veterans of the various branches of service. So go out and say thanks to a veteran. That's a good thing. It's a great afternoon. It's warm here. It's beautiful here in this part of the this neck of the woods where we are in the eastern stretch of Ohio. And but I know that it's pretty cool actually in some other parts of the country. I know that a friend of mine, and this was I think it was this morning that I talked to him. He's actually been a guest on this show. His name is Doug Schuster. And I know that Doug and his wife Chrissy are traveling out to the West Coast, to Las Vegas, for a convention that he's involved in. Now, I know that they took a plane flight from here to Denver. And I know and actually not here, but in Columbus. And they took this flight from Columbus to Denver, and I know he said when he got to Denver, it was actually snowing. So, it's not warm everywhere, but almost everywhere. So we're really, really grateful about that. This year the start of this year has been kind of crazy, because the meteorologists are telling us we've got enough rain to float an ark, or an ocean liner for that matter. And of course, we're all anxiously awaiting the start of the Summer Olympics in Rio, which is going to be very, very cool. And I think that with all the great stuff happening and everything that is making life good, life is good. It is what it is. Think about this for just a minute, if you would. Life's kind of good. We're really trying to make the best of everything. And we're trying to be good to people. We're trying to say things that are positive. We're trying to not worry about whether Donald's hair is, messed up and all that kind of stuff. And I think we have to just kind of be glad that, life is what it is. Think about the fact that Publishers Clearinghouse is still giving away millions of dollars. That's a good thing. And try thinking about the fact that even though, interest rates may be going up a little bit and inching up a little bit, and it gives you a little bit more to think about when you're budgeting for whatever that next big ticket item is, think about the fact that gas is still less than $3 a gallon. I think that's pretty cool, actually. I'm always of the belief that you got to look at all the positive things that are going on, and you got to think about things that affect your life in positive ways, and that's a good thing. Here we go. On this day in all sorts of history. Okay, and again, I'm reading a script, so a script is what it is, and periodically I'll take my attention away from the camera, but I'm thinking about you. On this day in music in 1965, Paul McCartney spent the day shopping in London. Now get this. He was disguised, I should say, in a cloth cap, a mustache, glasses, and an overcoat. Honestly, I'm not sure he would have gotten away with that in the United States. People would have figured out who he was, and they would have, they would have mobbed him probably. But it is what it is. On this day in sports history, and this is a very, very cool piece, and we're not really a sports station. You can go to watch all kinds of sports on the internet, and you can watch 24 hours a day. At any rate, on this day in sports history, in 1940, they had the very first television broadcasted baseball game, which was broadcast on WGN, which is the station located in Chicago, Illinois. The battle was between the White Sox and the Cubs. Now, I don't know who won because I wasn't around in 1940. No, actually, I probably could have found out. But, it is what it is. And finally, on this day in cinema history, and this is very, very cool, too, because a lot of the people that watch the show kind of get into all of we talk about cinema every now and then. It's kind of a neat thing. So I thought it'd be fun to bring this little bit of information up, this little bit of cinema history. In cinema on this date, in 1889, a long time ago, film legend Charlie Chaplin was born in Walworth, England. So now, I guess he spoke the English, the Queen's English, the King's English, I don't know. Anyway, so he was born. I always wondered, since Charlie Chaplin was a silent film star, what life would have been like if he had invented mime. That kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, it would be kind of funny to see what it would have been like if Charlie Chaplin had been a mime. I don't know. It is what it is. And now we come to a segment, and I before I get into that, I want to say something to everybody out there. We've had a lot of trials and tribulations with things these days, and I think 2016 started out actually as a good year. Unlike years in past, we've had times where things were iffy at best, and in this case, it's an election year, and we're not a politically oriented show. But I think it's pretty amazing that so many people are now involved. I think it's fantastic that the public are more so aware of what's going on in politics. They're aware of the issues. They're expressing their opinions, and I think it's pretty great that people went to the primary vote, and actually used they've exercised their right to vote. That's very cool. It shouldn't just take an election like this one for you to exercise your right to vote. You should be doing that in the primary elections as well as the main or principal election. It's important. It's a right you have, and you should take advantage of that. But I'm really, really glad that everybody is sort of expressing their interest, and they're expressing their opinions about whether it's going to be Hillary or Bernie, or whether it's going to be Donald, or whether it's going to be or Ted Cruz. I think it's pretty great, because in this country we've got this ability to say what we're thinking and say what we're feeling and express ourselves, hopefully in positive ways, and hopefully we're not fighting, and we're not going against the grain, and we're not making life difficult for others or for ourselves, for that matter. But it's really, really neat that we can do that. So anyway, I thought that little bit of information I kind of needed to get up on my pedestal and talk about it. Days until you can just get out and enjoy better weather. Obviously, it's here. Right now, in parts of this neck of the woods, it's 70. I mean, what's not to like? This is very, very cool. Even though Denver had snow this morning, it's warm, it's sunny in many, many places in many parts of the United States, and that's always a good thing. When you think about it, there'll soon be a lot of summer festivals. There'll be concerts and fairs and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, this is the time to get out and really enjoy and make the best of everything. Make the most of everything with your family, your friends, and buddies. It's the time for live music. It's the time for just enjoying all the things that life has to offer. We're going to take a very short break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Hi, hon. How was your run?
Hard, but I hung in there and did my 2 miles. How was your workout?
Great. Dinner's ready. I hope you worked up an appetite.
A healthy female like this, you better believe it. Thanks for keeping us on track.
Hey, every step matters. We can do this.
And it's very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
And we're back. And now that we're back, I want to make a plea to you. I want to ask you to do something that you may have only thought of at tax time, and of course tax time just passed because it was April the 15th when you had to file your income tax return, and you had to kind of let the IRS know, that everything was okay and you're doing it the right way. And by the way, you know the term the IRS. You know how it's spelled. It's THEIRS. Spells theirs. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, so now that tax time is sort of come and gone, we're thinking about other things. We're thinking about things we're going to do, how we're going to spend money, how we're going to take a vacation, or whatever it is that makes you happy. And this is the time to do it. It's time to enjoy life. This is also the time to make some choices in life. Now, I've got a take on some of these things, and I thought this was kind of an appropriate time to talk about this a little bit. You pick and you choose, and those basically are two different things. They're two different words, but they basically have the same meaning. And when you think about it, we really sort of do both in life. If you pick a color, it usually means, that's the color. That's the one you want. Or it's the one you like. So you picked it. When you choose, it's just as specific as picking. You choose the color red, okay? Or you choose to be early so that you can impress him or her. Or, you choose that particular wine. That's a hint of previews, things to come. But you could choose to be early or late for that really important date. But of course, you can't choose not to do things. Like I said, the same is true in life and things that you make the decision about. You could choose how much money to spend on groceries. And you could choose who you're going to go out with or what book you're going to read. But unfortunately, you can't choose not to get that speeding ticket when you were doing 75 in a 45 zone. And you just got caught. That's the way life is. But maybe what's most important is just to pick a time in your life when you choose to be a more giving person and to just give more to your friends and your family, your mom and dad if they're with us, your grandparents if they're with us, hopefully so, your children. And that's all good, that's all positive, and that's the way it should be. That's the way you should be thinking about everything. Here are some life thoughts, and I kind of reflect on these because I think they really make a big difference. I really do. When you think about it, and again, I've got a script, so I'm going to make you look at my script. These are 5 great life thoughts for you to think about for the coming week. And of course, this is Sunday, which some people say Sunday is the end of the week. Other people say Sunday is the beginning of the week. I tend to think it's kind of the beginning of the week. I think of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because Sunday really is the day when, everybody goes to their house of worship and they start, you come home and you have a meal and then you start thinking about getting ready for, the first day of the work week, or the first day of school, or if it's college classes, or, whatever it happens to be. Think about this. Camaraderie is the spirit of friendship and community in a group like military soldiers. And, whether they're fighting on the front lines or whether they're just on a military base somewhere, camaraderie is that entity that allows them to kind of stick together. It allows them to laugh and try to enjoy life as much as they can. And when the task at hand is difficult, they're all there. Camaraderie it's there. It's almost like a feeling, which it is a feeling, but it's what kind of brings everybody together, and it gives you a chance to lean on someone's shoulder if you need to say something, or you're silent and you just you just don't feel like talking, and your buddies are there for you. Camaraderie is part of family. Camaraderie is part of friendships. It really, really makes a difference. Remember that the life you have is a gift. And, as such, you should cherish it. Make the fullest of it. Go do something that makes you happy. Do something that you really enjoy doing. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to include your friends. It just means get out there and enjoy it. Get out there and do something fun. Maybe go to a movie you haven't seen, or go try on some new clothes, or go, you don't have to buy a new car, but go to the dealer somewhere near you and look at some cars just to see what it would be like. In fact, maybe we'll look at that new Corvette, or that new Mustang, or that new Camaro, or that Charger, or whatever car you happen to like. Go check it out, This is your chance. This is your opportunity to enjoy life and to make the most of it. Remember that life is not measured by the number of breaths that we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And I know you've heard that before. And I think it's kind of interesting because there's a moment in this show that's going to take my breath away. I'm going to be talking about somebody very, very special. And we'll get to that after the next break, which is coming up shortly. Remember, the happiest of people don't necessarily have the best of everything, but they make the most out of what they do have. And I know there are people out there who don't necessarily have fancy cars, but they've got what they like. They've got what they enjoy driving. They got what carries the family and the kids around, and the dog for that matter. And you can get from point A to point B, whether it's from your home to the swimming pool, or from your swimming pool to I got to go pick up something from the store, or whatever it happens to be. Life is good. And in the end, I think we sometimes regret not taking chances. And those are chances we could have taken. So try things that make you happy. And to me, remember, I try to remember, it's not about taking a risk. It's about taking a chance. And you have that choice to take that chance. It's something you have to do. It's something that makes life a little bit easier to deal with, a a little bit more fun, a little bit more tolerable. And how many times have you, how many times in your life have you thought that wasn't really a risk? It wasn't all that much of a risk. It was just, I wanted to take that chance. Maybe for one reason or another, you've never played the lottery, or maybe for one reason or another, you're afraid to ask that person out. It's not a risk. It's an opportunity. It's a chance, and life is full of them, and you just have to make the most out of that chance. So think about that and keep it in mind, and remember that every day is a new day. Just as we're doing the show on Sunday, it's Monday's tomorrow. Monday is our opportunity to try something new. If there's a class you want to sign up for in the summer classes period or program, if you, in fact, I should sort of preempt this a little bit and say, everybody has things they like to do, but maybe it's time to shake things up a bit. Maybe it's time to try a new hobby. Take a class, maybe in art. Maybe you just never thought about being a painter. And so what's the worst that can happen? You go to sign up for the class, you pay for the class, and you get your piece of canvas, and you start thinking about something that you did that you really, really enjoyed. You drove a car. So what do? You visualize what that car looks like, and you start painting a few lines in the shape of a car. There's the bumper, and there's the hood, and there's the roof line and the trunk, and then there are the wheels, and and of course it can be, a Volkswagen Bug, or it can be a sleek Ferrari, which is a wedge basically. But go try something. For the first time this summer, I'm going to take classes in welding, and I may get through a couple of classes, and I may decide I'm going to go find some old rusty metal and clean it up and weld it into some fantastic outdoor sculpture. If you don't take the chance, you're never really going to know. I know I decided that I was going to throw some business cards, some cards about this show that promote Positively Paul. And I was going to kind of give them to my friend Doug Schuster, who's going out to the WSWA convention in Las Vegas, which is the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers Association. They have this convention every year, which is more like a convention and an exposition. And I've been to this. It's really, really something. Now, I think it's closed to the public, but I got in as a guest because I happen to know Doug Schuster, and I have to tell you, it was one of the most interesting experiences of my life. Now, that was taking a chance. I thought it was a bit of a risk because at the same time that I like wine, it's I don't know a whole lot about it. But if I went to this convention, I would learn more about it. So it wasn't really a risk, it was a chance. It was a chance to learn more. It was a chance to broaden my knowledge about wines. And I like wine. I think it's pretty cool. We're going to take a very short break again, and when we come back, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that make all the difference, and how you choose wine, and I want to introduce you to somebody. Now, she's not here, but I want to tell you a little bit about something new and special. Stay tuned.
I want to thank everyone for making this day so special. Dad, you've been my inspiration. I love you.
I love you too.
And Mom, I miss you so much.
Type 2 diabetes steals the lives we cherish most. but it can be prevented. Almost 80 million Americans have prediabetes, but because prediabetes doesn't always have symptoms, 9 out of 10 people who have it don't even know it. Know your risk. More importantly, do something about it. Eat better, stay active, and lose weight. You have a lot to live for. Stop diabetes, for yourself and the people you love. Learn how at checkupamerica.org or talk to your doctor.
Hey, welcome back, and once again, we are a show called Positively Paul, and we come to this web airwaves, if you will, on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 3 Central, 2 Mountain, and 1 Pacific time. And today we are actually coming in a little bit later than normal. We are pre-recording the show as opposed to doing a live show because I am in the midst of something right now and a project that has to get done before too much time passes. So anyway, I want to tell you a little bit about how things work, and I want to mix things up just a little bit. I want to tell you about a very special lady who spent several years as a world-famous model. She was an actress and she was a spokesperson. And she also recently celebrated a birthday. She turned 62 years of age, although to look at her, you wouldn't know it. She is stunningly beautiful and has a smile that could light up any room. When I tell you, you'll recognize her name. She's a very active person, and she's currently about to launch 3 brand new wines. Among all of her work that she has done as a model and a spokesperson, she's obviously out in the public spotlight. And you can't help but get excited when somebody like this gets involved in this kind of venture. You know her as Christie Brinkley. Yep, the Christie Brinkley. Beautiful, talented, just an amazing human being with a very compassionate heart, and she's very talented. And more than anything, she is passionate about this venture that she's launching. This particular week coming up, Christie is making a visit to the WSWA convention and exposition. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, that's the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers Association. This is the largest convention of its type. And what she's going to do is launch 3 new wines, which I think is pretty amazing. And she is the brand partner. She's what's known as a brand partner for these particular wines. The product comes from Bellissima, and I hope I pronounced that correct, Bellissima. It's an organic Prosecco. Christie is launching this new brand, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to trying these 3, because I think they're going to be really good. I know Christie is very health conscious, and she appreciates the benefits that these wines can bring. Bellissima's debut line will include a 0 sugar, which is a sugar-free organic brut, a Bellissima Sparkling Rosé, which is a sparkling pink wine with a touch of strawberry and grapefruit. That sounds so good. And a Bellissima Brut, which is a dry Prosecco. Now, these 3 wines, I don't have a particular date as to when these are going to be available, but because she's launching these officially tomorrow, at the WSWA convention in Las Vegas, Nevada. But I think it's important to quote Christy, and this is something that she, again, is very passionate about, are these wines, because she's a health conscious person. So I quote Christy. She says, I believe that let me try this again, because I got to get this just right, or she won't speak to me. She says, I believe that celebrating what we are grateful for with family, friends, and Prosecco contributes to a healthy, happy, and sweetly beautiful life. And I think, this is a brand new venture for Christy. I know what's especially nice for her and for these new wines is that they represent a positive and loving spirit of life itself. A spirit that brings together family and friends at some of life's wonderful moments. I know I'm a big fan of Christy's. In fact, I'm one of her biggest fans. And because she represents what is good, she truly understands the benefits of being health conscious. This new Prosecco is a wonderful wine, and I encourage you to give it a try once it comes out. Bellissimo Zero, Bellissimo Sparkling Rosé, and Bellissimo Brut. 3 great new wines from Bellissimo. It's one of those things where you if you're in my position, you want to tell the world about this. It's amazing. And of course, who better than someone as wonderful and as beautiful as Christy Brinkley to bring it to you? Speaking of great things and all the wonderful things that are going on, this, of course, in Las Vegas, the weather's beautiful outside, and along with that, along with all the things that make the season beautiful, now it's time to get out and enjoy the weather. Here we go. It's time to mow the lawn. It's time to rake the leaves that you didn't get to last fall. It's time to wash the car again. It's time for getting that grill ready for the first barbecue. It's ready. I'm ready. And it's time for that first and all-important backyard party. And if you live near a lake or a river or, God willing, the ocean, you're getting your boat ready for family and for friends and for going out and, on excursions on the water. So that's very, very cool. And of course, and finally, and most importantly, about the one thing about this particular season of the year coming up, you gotta find your sunglasses, Okay, so that said, I titled this little bit, Sunglasses. We know them, we love them. And here goes. What kinds of sunglasses do you own? Large ones, small ones, wide ones, tall ones? Are your lenses light or dark tinted? And, tint refers to the color. Do you want to see better? I guess that's the best way to put it. Do you want to actually have better vision? Do you want to see better? Or do you want to be seen better? Are you just being you? Or are you a true celebrity behind those shades? Does the color of those frames say, I want to be noticed? Or I'm really famous and I'm hiding? And finally, last but not least, does that reflection mean I'm cool? Or license, registration, and proof of insurance, please? So sunglasses, they're important. They make the biggest difference. In the summertime, of course, you can't go out and mow the lawn without them. And you got to have a hat. And you got to have your favorite, beverage. Maybe a brewski, maybe a soft drink, may just be water. But whatever it is, you got to have those shades. Oh, and by the way, and I think I kind of alluded to this in the early part of the show. And of course, speaking of Christy Brinkley, can you believe? And maybe you didn't know. I thought I said that she turned 62. Now that happened back in February, and when you think about it, 62. Really. She looks as young and beautiful today as the day she started her career, which was many, many moons ago, many decades ago. And you know what? Who needs light bulbs? She could light up a room when she walked in. She's amazing. She really is. Christy, I want to wish you all the very, very best with this new venture. Personally, I'm looking forward to trying each of these wines when they come out and are available at my neck of the woods. So my heartiest of congratulations to you as you launch this new venture. And I have a feeling it's going to be very, very successful. Hey, we'll take a very short break here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we'll kind of wrap things up for this particular hiatus program. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Hi, hon. How was your run?
Hard, but I hung in there and did my 2 miles. How was your workout?
Great. Dinner's ready. I hope you worked up an appetite.
Healthy female like this, you better believe it. Thanks for keeping us on track.
Hey, every step matters. We can do this.
And it's very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Hey, once again, thank you very, very much for tuning in and signing on and logging on and all that great stuff. My name is Paul Gregory. I'm your host for this program called Positively Paul. And once again, we do this show because we believe in what's good and what's right. We believe in the positive sides of life and try to stay away from things that are all negative and pessimistic and just bring you down and make you sad, because life's too short. We got to keep looking at things in a positive light. We all are keeping our perspective, hopefully. Remember that drinking driving is a no-no. And remember that texting and driving is a no-no. Don't do either of those. If you're at a party and you're at the situation where you just, it's okay to enjoy. It's okay to savor that new wine that Christy's launching, that new Prosecco at that party gathering, that's a good thing. But make sure you have a designated driver, or make sure that you're a big guy, and you can kind of hold all of that. Some people can't hold their alcohol very well. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need a designated driver and you're everybody at the party's had a little bit too much, just please be very, very careful. Once again, I know everybody has the best of intentions in life, and I know that if you really think about it, I believe that you, as well as I, as well as everybody, wants to do the right thing. Remember to try to do things for people who have difficulty in life. That means senior citizens. If you see two seniors or somebody by themselves trying to load groceries into a car, and it's a man or it's a woman and they're having issues, get out of your bloody car and go help them. It's not a big deal. Go give them some assistance. They'll love you for it. If you see a child trying to get the door open on the men's room, or, just a young child, 9, 10, whatever, and they're having difficulty or whatever, or you see go give them some assistance. If you see a child in a wheelchair, go up to that little boy or little girl and smile and say hi. You'll brighten their day. You really will. And if you see a veteran, you've got to go say thanks. It's just, there's nothing better in the world than the feeling it gives you to tell a veteran, thank you. And I know I'm a veteran, and it feels great when somebody comes up to me and says, thank you for your service. I served the United States Air Force from 1971 to 1977, and back in those days, there weren't campaigns to say, thank a veteran. Today there are, and I'm very grateful for that. Please give to the Wounded Warriors. It's a great organization to donate to. It really is. Also, make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. They are doing so much. They have tremendous survival rates for children who have been diagnosed and stricken with cancers and various childhood illnesses. It's a tremendous organization, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can make a donation by going to stjude.org. In all the things that we try to do on the show, I try to round it off with what I think is a great thought for the week and the coming weeks ahead. And here's how it goes. Remember this. Remember that a good day is when you assume nothing, you do more, you need less, you don't bump your microphone like I just did, and you make the most of everything you have. You smile big, smile often. Smiling is great. Smiling is infectious. Smiling it makes us all feel really, really good. And think of something really hilarious. Think of something funny. I used to watch Robin Williams videos, YouTube videos. I still do. They're hilarious. His jokes are unbelievable. Sadly, we lost Robin, but we didn't lose his YouTube videos. So if you're feeling sort of down, you're feeling blue, dial up a Robin Williams video. They're hilarious. They'll have you rolling the aisles. And when you finally come to, after laughing all that time, then you think about how lucky you really are in this life, in this day and age, and most importantly, in this country. With your family, your friends, your best pals, your best buds. Hey, life is good. I'm Paul Gregory, and you're watching Positively Paul. Make a good week of it next week, and whatever you do, keep in mind, keep smiling, and we'll see you next time. We will be back. We're retooling the show. We will be returning to the internet airwaves as soon as we kind of retool the studio. We're setting up a whole new operation here, and we're gonna have some new guests. DJ Bouchong is coming back on, and this time we're actually going to go out in the studio a lot, and we'll tell you all about his cars. Hey, we'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.